Hello, I'm back. It's been roughly 23 hours and I am back. And I am ready to go. I'm in much better spirits than I was in yesterday because that's what time does when you're hungover. um, what are we doing today? I didn't even do this on purpose, but just had a Sega Saturn in the frame, probably for several streams. It's my Saturn. It's my second favorite pet behind my cat. Um, we are doing today. We are going to. We're going to do the extend power up. So what's that going to involve? That is going to basically just involve changing a few things. It's going to change the collision detection, which previously used constant for the width of the paddle, and now we'll use a variable. It's going to change the OAM code for the paddle, because now that's going to be variable too. So those are really the two key things. And then the other thing is that we may find. Let me actually pop this open right now. It's just eating lunch for lunch. I had Indian food, which I love. Okay, yeah. And I'm worried that I've got saucy lips, which is a horrible thing to say. Just a horrible phrase, saucy lips. Sprites. Oh, it's 10 per line. 10 per line is fine. I was worried we were gonna. For some reason in my head, I had it that the Game Boy was limited to 4 sprites per line, which would have been very, very restrictive. And I was all worried that we were going to hit that sprite limit by extending the width of the panel. Oh, we're definitely not going to hit that sprite limit. We're fine. We're golden. So that's good, because I mean, there's ways of dealing with it. If you start hitting that sprite limit, the big thing to do is to cycle which sprites you draw on any given frame. But we don't need to do that. One annoying thing about this is I've got a bunch of hard-coded constants for setting up OAM that's I'm probably going to need to change now, because I mean, I could stick the extend sprites way at the end or something stupid like that, but I'm not going to do that. So actually, I might do that. It might be easier, rather than going through and trying to adjust which OAM slots the lasers use and stuff like that. So I don't know. Those are some things that are consideration. I'm gonna start working on that right about now. I do have a paddle.asm. Okay, so let's honestly just start with set up paddle OAM. And I'm also trying to think of what's the nicest way to set up the paddle OAM when I've got the two separate possibilities. You can see right here, this is all extremely hard coded. Yeah. Hi, German scientist Klaus. Thanks for popping in. I'm just sort of getting started and talking about what I want to do. We're working on. Let me boot it up actually. I'm just working on adding power-ups to the like breakout clone that I'm working on. And I want to add a power-up which will make the width of your paddle wider. So that is the task for today. All right. So what I'm gonna start by doing is just splitting this routine up a little bit. It's not terribly complicated, but I think it's just going to become easier to manage if I break this up into 3 parts. One for the left, one for the right, one for the center, of course. Yeah. That's one of the perks of doing game development for the Game Boy. I don't even have a make file or anything. I'm just using a batch file. I recompile everything. It takes like less than 10 seconds. One of the few nice things about this whole thing compared to any kind of like modern development. On the plus side, no, actually I'm not going to split this up. I take it back because I do want to keep this. Oh God, okay, yeah. 8-day deadline. Jeez, I'm sorry. Are you, is this for like a school project or something like that? A game jam, okay. Yeah. Is it going to take this long every time you have to recompile, or is it like one of those things where you do it once and then most of it's already built and you'll be yeah, it's probably easiest if I just put it in a variable or something like that. Oh, that's infuriating. I've never used Unreal, the Unreal Engine for anything. I've used Unity, and Unity's always been really fast to recompile, in my experience. Although to be honest, I can't say I've used Unity like in anger. But anyways, I guess what I'm saying is there any possible way you could use Unity? I don't know. Or are you already kind of committed to Unreal? This is another thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in C yeah. That's the fun of game jams, right? Is there? I want to check the instructions. Of course, every time I try to do a game jam and I use a new technology with this idea that it's going to be a great way to learn the new technology, I end up not getting stuff done. Okay, yeah. So. Center tiles. Swing on the paddle with. Yeah, exactly. Which game jam is it? I've done Global Game Jam and Ludum Dare. And that's all. Oh, and I did Toe Jam. Toe Jam, which is a Toronto thing. Just like a local one. Okay, so we get the Y. We're going to get the C. We're going to write it in. And then this just becomes that. So that works out okay. Okay. 100 people is I don't know, I feel like that's pretty good. I'm lucky if I get 1 or 2 viewers a day. Is there any particular like theme to this game jam, or is it just like everyone can do whatever they want? That's really good. I don't know. I don't. I still haven't figured out how to grow my audience on Twitch. So let's see here. So I'm just going to build this and test this out. Three items. A strange influence. Limitation. 3 items. Theme. A strange influence. Interesting. That's very interesting. I like that. I like the sound of that a lot. So let me reload this and just make sure that it works. I just have hard coded the paddle width, so hopefully this will just okay. This seems to still work the way that I intended. So next, my problem is that I've got to start. I got to reallocate where I put all of these. If I say I want to expand this by 2, then I need to put the flash 2 ahead. Okay, I just need to put the flash, the particles, and the lasers all ahead by 2. Two slots, which means by 8. Particles. I mean, I should be using constants, but I'm not. Mushroom gives, are you getting, yeah. Driving under the. That's dude. Winners do drugs, right? That's like. So are you gonna make it like it's more fun to be driving under the influence, or because like there's a genre of games, right, which like co-op is probably the most famous one, where it's like the challenge of the game is that you're doing it as hard. Snaky Bus. No, I've seen Snaky Bus, and I think it looks awesome, but I've never played it, and I really should fix that. I'm looking for the lasers. Yes, I guess I do know. Yeah, it's like It's kind of like the Nokia phone game Snake or whatever, except you're a bus in a city, and it's of course a lot more sophisticated. But and then OAM. Here we go. 44. 44. Okay. That should do it. I'm going to reload and test to make sure I still haven't broken anything. It looks pretty good. Well, I mean, it wasn't exactly complicated. Let's do it here. Yes, perfect. Okay. So, let's run an alcohol. That's so any of those I feel like are going to make it an awful lot harder to drive. Yeah. Not I have never driven under the influence of anything, but I would assume that driving while you're tripping balls is not particularly easy or a good idea. Okay, yeah, great. uh, so is the goal to hit as many people as possible? Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, exactly. Uh, the goal. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. The goal is to take as many. So is there? Does it then become like this sort of risk reward thing where like the more drugs you take, the more points you get or whatever, but the harder it is to do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a fun idea. So like you want to avoid hitting the pedestrians or crashing your car or whatever, but that's fun. I like that. Um, okay. So yeah, now what I want to test is I'm just going to go into the debugger and I'm going to say paddle width tiles, and I'm just going to up this to, yeah, up that to 3 and see what happens. Yeah, and there we go. Now the paddle is extra wide. Of course, the collision detection doesn't take this into account, but that's the basics. Okay, so next I'm going to go into paddle. I think, well, it's just wherever I have. Let's start it too. Yeah, probably. So, you don't run Crisis when you're or whatever. What even is like the modern day Crisis? Like everyone would be like, oh, or Far Cry or whatever. When everyone's like, oh, but can it run Far Cry? Like, yeah. Yeah, that's not going to help. That would explain why it was going pretty fast first, and then suddenly started going really, really slow. So let's go over into, I think Ball Collide is where I've got this, and I have paddle width, right? Yeah, and I don't want this anymore. Oh yeah. Oh God, I hate this. I'm running out of registers. Just have too much stuff going on. Am I using? that's fine. And then I just need to go over into paddle.ink. Expanded paddle width. And that's just going to equal paddle width plus that should do it. Oh, thank you for the follow. And then I gotta define expanded paddle tiles. I'm gonna set that to 2. I'm not really sure if I like how these constants are all playing out, but it's fine. So having done that, I think all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go, I've rebuilt it, I'm gonna hit reload and hit run, and then go, or start the game. So I haven't actually added any ability for power-ups to fall from the sky yet. Let's see, I want paddle width tiles. I think I'm gonna set this to just to the new hard-coded values, and I think that's paddle width pixels, and I'm just gonna add, we're adding 16 to it, modify code data, so that's gonna be up to 28 hex, and hit run, and I'm gonna see how this works. And I suspect, I'm gonna need to fix also, the paddle can go off screen now a little bit, and I don't want that, but this seems to work, which I'm pleased about. So let's see. What's next? I need to be able to do the boundary checking on the left, right? On the right, I mean. Yeah, we're using the paddle width there. So let me paddle width pixels. We're going to I'm going to negate it and add 168. Yeah, I can't commit to any game jams at the moment. I've been pretty dedicated working on this for the past couple like months now, and I'm just I want to get it done so I started this series because I thought it'd be fun to kind of like do this educational thing to show people how to make a Game Boy game in assembly language, and it has been fun, but now I'm like, but do I actually want to be making a Breakout clone, you know? So I just want to kind of get it done so I can say that I've got it done. Okay, well I can do that, which is nice. So yeah, no game jams for me until this is done, and then maybe after this is done, I'll do a game jam. I really want to get better at using something like Unity or Unreal or something like that. And I would like to make a game that's not a Breakout clone, but here we are. And then the other thing I need to do is when the player dies, I need to probably means that I need to include paddle. But I will take a look. I'm curious about this streamer. Like, I'd love to watch someone else who's apparently good at doing these streams because people are watching him. I'd like to see what's going on there and what they're doing. He's mainly a pixel artist. Okay. God, I wish I was better at pixel art too. Okay. I see. Yeah, honestly, even if it's just a pixel artist, I'd watch that as well because I'm very bad at art. And I feel like nowadays, like, when I started making games, which was like back in the sort of when I was a teenager, so a long time ago, no one knew how to program, and it was really hard to program the game. And now it's not so hard to program or make a game because tools like Unreal and Unity make it really, really easy. And even Game Maker, and I feel more held back by my lack of art skills than anything else. I mean, that's not gonna. Okay, well. So I'm going to reload and do another quick test. Let's go here, clear, not clear, paddle width tiles. I'm going to set that to 3 again. And I'm going to go to paddle width pixels. I'm going to set that to 28 again. Let's do this. So yeah, okay. So now I can't go off the right anymore. And when oh, that's interesting. Did not expect that at all. What happened there? That's really cool, and I don't understand. I have to clear out these guys. Do I not clear out my OAM every frame? I guess I must not. I guess that makes sense that I wouldn't, because that's really slow. Yeah, so I'm going to need to clear these out as well. So let me go back into paddle.asm, which is where I'm at. I'm going to have another routine here really quick called clear paddle OAM. That's the easiest way to do this, and it won't be too slow. So I'm just going to load HL, shadow OAM is 4, be with, what is it going to be? Is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 20 bytes? Yeah, 20 bytes. Doing this every frame should not be too bad. And that should resolve that issue that I just had there. And I think that's probably going to be everything I need to get this paddle extension working nicely. Nope. Just gonna let it fall off. Yep, there we go. It works like a charm. Cool. So I'm going to commit that. Do I have a git bash open? I don't think I do. Git bash. think everything I did was related to paddle extension. Let me actually do one other thing. Put a new line here. Support paddle extension. And that's my to-do list. So we've got these 3 power-ups working. So then the remaining power-up work I have is I need to have multi-ball. That's fine. I understand completely. I appreciate that you're watching and interacting and stuff. Yeah, if at any point you are interested and want me to try to explain some of the assembly stuff that I'm doing, I'm happy to try to explain. But if not, whatever. The reality is that Game Boy assembly language programming is useful basically exclusively if you're trying to make a Game Boy game, and so unless that's something that you actively really want to do, there's learning about it isn't the most important thing in the world. And to the best of my ability, when I have the opportunity, I do try to talk about more general principles that are applicable, but right now that's not coming up an awful lot, which is fine. Multi-ball, that's what I want to do. I want to add support for multi-ball, and that is going to get ugly. So ugly that I'm a little scared of it and concerned that maybe I don't want to do it, but I really want to do it. But maybe I want to do it maybe I want to do it after I finish adding support for the making the power-up items actually fall so that you can actually get the power-ups. And I can do multi-ball after that. So yeah, let me do that. Do you ever stream anything that you do? Let's see. So I'm going to call this powerup.asm. I'm going to define a section. That's very fair. It's weird. I have found that even though I hate my face on the camera and the sound of my voice on the camera, I find that actually doing this helps keep me really focused. Just because I've got like people watching and when I do it and I'm talking through everything. So I enjoy that a lot. And I really like teaching to whatever extent I'm doing that. But I understand completely. Just for like privacy reasons, even like it's really weird being out there. But what am I doing? What am I doing? It really helps keep me focused, he says, as he so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hard code. You're just going to have one kind of the power-ups visible on screen at any given time. So I'm going to start with like the extend power-up X. it's all just going to be hard coded. I'm going to do setup power up. That's going to be public. That's going to call setup extend power up OAM. And then I need to go over here and look at what's my next free slot. My next free slot looks like it is 3C. Wow, I've really used a lot of OAM. Rich shadow OAM plus 3C is 48 plus 12. 60. Wow. Why would that into I? Just like the sort of standard. And like one actually potential strategy I could do is I could, instead of copying these over individually, I could like set up a structure for the Power Up OAM that mirrors this and copy it in as appropriate or something. Like there's various ways to make this, the OAM handling, I'm doing a little more elegant, but this is fine. Tiles. And I'm going to put that tile right over there. It's going to be tile number 5. And I should use constants, but I'm not. Because that is extend power up, laser power up is going to be at 64, and that'll be tile number 6. All set up. Spike power up OAM. Gotta fix these to use laser and laser. That's going to be 7, and it's going to use this is spike. I still haven't even decided how exactly I want to make the power-ups work, whether I want them to just appear randomly or if I can like put them in specific bricks. I think I'm just going to make them appear randomly. And that'll be fun because it'll give me an opportunity to talk about how to do random number generation on the Game Boy. Whew. Okay, so it's going to make .bat. Let's go RGB ensemble power up.nsm. Wow, it built. Oh, that's because power up.o. Now, this isn't going to build because none of those are defined, unsurprisingly. Let me go over to power up.asm. Let me define all those. So laser, spike, and multi-ball. Okay. I'm going to knit all of those. Knit power-ups. I'm just going to call this routine. It's just kind of tedious, honestly. How's the compilation going? Did closing that game help at all? What is what's the difference? Does it just can you just use normal C++, or is it like a specific dialect or something like that? A method of an overlap component. Yeah, I know C++, but I don't know how it works inside Unreal. I don't really know what an overlapped component means. Yeah. Okay, so that build, let's go into game, let's go knit, setup. So if this goes according to plan, this should just work. Obviously, we don't have any power-ups yet, but it works. So then let me go over to sprites. Let me create the extend power up. Whoops. Two, 4, 8. I'm just trying to draw some pixel art right in the assembler right now. It's not going to look great, but extend power up. That's going to be laser. Spike, and that'll be multi-ball. Spike. And then I'm gonna try to draw some kind of like just some kind of that'll look terrible. Let me actually open up. Let me not even worry about it. I'm just going to build it and see it. It still builds. It's good. Yeah, there are my power-ups. I will make them look like a thing eventually. Laser's probably the easiest. It's just an L. Yeah, but even that looks dumb. There just isn't enough space. What if that also looks dumb in a different way. Okay, what if I get rid of that? I just don't have enough graphics to justify like trying to draw these in Paint. And I guess that looks okay. It's a little hard to read, but it looks okay. But if I go with this approach, there's like I can do L with 2 pixels, but I really can't do M or X, or I could do S with 2 pixels. So maybe the thing to do is instead of trying to do it with 2 pixels, I should try to do it with 4 pixels. See how that looks. I might switch over to whoops. I might switch over to doing this in like Paint and then fix it up or port it over. Window VRAM viewer. Yeah, it's not so bad. That is good enough, I think. This looks a little weird, but it's good enough. So given that, I can do spike as well. If my attitude is, I think these are fair game. It's going to be tight, but I can do it. Should maybe have a... No, that does not look good. Just doesn't look good. I just don't have enough pixels to work with. You know what? Just buy more pixels. Easy. Exactly. I mean, I could, in a sense. Like, there's no reason I need to be constraining myself to these little diamonds, but you know, I'm actually just going to leave it because I don't really care. That's extend, and then multi-ball is something like that. Just upgraded the Game Boy GPU, and yeah, who cares? Yeah, it looks more like an H than an M, but whatever. These are fine. It's fine. It's fine. So we got our sprites loaded in. There, we got slots for them. I don't think that's totally right. I should go fix my. Yeah, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Now I need an update power-ups routine, which I'm just gonna stub out for a second. And call update, extend power-up, call update, user power-up, update, multi-ball power-up, call update, spec. I'm just copying and pasting. This is very like it just because there's like a fixed number of power-ups, it doesn't really make sense to try to do like any kind of abstraction over them the way that you would if you were programming a real game. But that does mean that there's a lot of tedium and repetition. But oh well. What I'm going to do is check to see whether it's on screen or not. For now, I won't even do that. Let's stub the rest out. Okay, no, I don't need to stub the rest out. I need to comment them out. Let's do that. So should happen here is we're just going to see them falling down the screen. Oh, well, it's off screen to the side, so that's why I'm not seeing it. But and I'll have a routine called like spawn extend power up. And we're going to use the hit brick thing to spawn it. So that's actually going to be really similar to how this flash works, right? It's I'm just actually going to copy and paste the code for that. Do it like just do that. So that's going to just position the extend power up at the brick that was hit. Just on brick destroyed. just so that we can see it in action, I'm just going to do it. Here, like every time we break a brick. Yeah, let's see this. Let's see this go. Run. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Oof. Let's see. Okay, let me figure this out. So right now, I only want to spawn it if it's on screen. So load a stand power up. And what I'll just do is I'll just make sure it's set to 0. Because it's only ever going to fall down. So I'm just going to check to see if it's set to 0. Like, it's very straightforward. And that's actually kind of, so what I'll do is I'll actually make it scroll all the way down and wrap all the way around. So that'll be one thing to prevent it from appearing too often. Which is kind of silly, but it's kind of a nice little hack. It means I don't need to do any code to like reposition it or anything like that. I'm just gonna... Oh, but I want to do the opposite here. I want to return if this is not 0. That's why it wasn't working. So it's going to appear, and then one won't appear for a little bit as it scrolls down, and then it'll appear again. And of course, there'll be other things to do, but yeah, that's a good start. Also, I don't want to spawn this if you're already extended. CP. I think it's called it stand power up is what I called the concept. What is this problem that you're struggling with? This calling, is it the calling the method on overlapping components? What I don't have like enough context to explain, but maybe you can like sort of rubber duck it or something. Like by explaining it to me, it will become more obvious what you need to do. Way to test that. Screen. What next? Doesn't seem too helpful. Call method inside. Is the the methods, is it an instance method or like a class method that you want to call? I'm gonna assume it's an instance method. Does the box collider not give you a reference to the objects that have collided? You're nerd sniping me. Now I'm curious. Sorry, not Unity. Unreal Box Collider. Or Collision? Now, this documentation doesn't seem especially good. Oh, man. Your player inherits from a pawn, which inherits from a actor. Do you maybe just need to cast? Like, is it safe to just cast? A car base equals a car base overlapped actor. So that, yeah, that should work, I would think. Again, not that I know anything about what I'm talking about. Like, is it? Yeah, I'd probably need to see more code, but like to know what to say exactly. But that sounds right. So, oh, yeah, you are doing something stupid. If that's the exact code you were writing, um, I'm assuming that overlap actor is a pointer, right? Or is it a reference? Like, what is the type of overlapped actor? Because I think what you don't want to be casting it to a car base. You want to be casting it to a pointer to a car base. So I think I'm just going to put this in chat. Like, I think what you actually want is that. So don't hold me to that or anything. It's been a long time since I've done any C++ actually, but I think that would work. And actually, I think technically in proper C++, you're supposed to use, is it like static cast or something like that? Yeah, I think you're technically supposed to use the static cast operator, but whatever. If that works, I'm like happy I could be of some help. Awesome. That is great. Yeah, and it's the great thing about C++ programming is that like actually the compiler would probably be giving you an error, but the compiler very easily can just like not give you an error for things like when you're casting, and then tragedy strikes. But okay, so spawn. This is all fine. I'm not gonna. I don't think I need to touch this at all. The update. I need to. Extend power up, and that's easy. I might not even put that in a collision. So then we're just going to check for the collision, which is going to be or no. Yeah, that's what I will do. I'm going to, or no. Gosh, let me redo all of that. I'm now going to compare it to paddle Y. And we're going to, if we're less than paddle Y, we return. So if we're less than paddle Y, that means that doing this comparison will trigger the carry flag. So we're going to return if the carry flag is triggered. Then we're going to compare it to paddle Y plus paddle height. In this case, if we're greater than that, we want to return, because that means that we're below the paddle. Although I want to be doing this based on the center. And then we're going to load extend power up X. And we're going to put that into B. And then we're going to get paddle X plus 1 to get the pixels of the paddle. To get the center. Oh, did it? I wonder if I haven't dropped any frames, I think, so I don't know. Somewhere along the line, something messed up. Gotcha. Are you, I'm guessing based on your name that you're based in Germany? Oh. There's a lot of countries right next to Germany. So you'll need to be more specific. I lived in Germany for a couple of years, so I've got fond feelings for. Oh, you're from the Netherlands, I assume, which is God, I freaking love the Netherlands. Like Amsterdam is one of my favorite places in the world, easily. That is not true. Although I have to admit I haven't been anywhere else in the Netherlands, but I have a friend of mine lives in a city the name of which I cannot pronounce, and I will embarrass myself if I try. Uh, and I know there's Rotterdam as well. uh, oh my God. Nijmegen? Nijmegen? I'm so sorry. Uh, yes, yes. No, it was. I'm sure it was not close at all, but uh, and then I want. Oh god, what is it? Let me go look at this paddle.ink. These constants in there. Yeah, I'll use the constants. So this one. Yeah. There's a pixels. It is expanded paddle width. You know, it's terrible. He's lived there for something like 6+ years. I don't even know. He got his PhD at the university there, and he's living there now. And I talk to him regularly, and every time we talk, he mentions the name of this city, and I say, God, how do you pronounce that? And he explains to me how to pronounce it, and I say, and I fail every time. And it's ridiculous because for the most part, I'd like to think I'm good-ish at, it's a nonsensical reference, that checks out. I'm good at languages and pronunciation and things like that. And Dutch is, I don't want to say it's easy by any means for an English speaker to pronounce, but we're closely related languages, you know? Like, it shouldn't be that hard. It's not like it's like Cantonese or something like that, but I just don't know why, but I really struggle. I interrupted myself in the middle of this. Oh, and I want. Oh no. Well, at least for English speakers, I can't speak for. I don't know, like French people or whatever. But for English speakers, Dutch is. I think it's like the most closely related language in the world to English, or at least the Germanic part of English or whatever. I think the hard part about learning Dutch, I've heard, is that for an English speakers, you go to the Netherlands and you try to speak Dutch to people, and they just all talk to you in perfect English. Because you guys are really good at that. Let's give this. I've also heard you're very modest about your English speaking skills. Um, Certainly, of anywhere I've been in Europe, uh, aside from the UK to whatever extent that counts, you guys speak better English than anyone. I haven't been to Scandinavia. I hear Scandinavians are very good at English as well, but I don't know. That was just my experience, and I mean, I was in Amsterdam, which is of course the really touristy part of the country. So it would be expected that people would speak English the best there. But um, But I don't know. Certainly, I'm pretty sure. Um, I mean, certainly people in the Netherlands speak way better English than Germans do. Germans are terrible at English. Um, at least in my experience. Um, and I should clear power up timer as well. That's interesting. That is interesting. Mm. Your grammar is fine as far as I've seen. Sorry, you're a native Dutch speaker, and your Dutch pronunciation is shitty. What am I doing? Oh man, this stream has gone on for too long, but I want to get this done. Oh my god, that sounds terrible. Um, hmm. Yeah, and I will admit, English pronunciation, so far as I've been, as people have told me, English pronunciation is ridiculous. It's so dumb. Like words aren't spelled how they're pronounced at all. Uh, so I don't blame you for having trouble with it. What do I want to do? Oh, I want to. Does decrement clear? Decrement will clear the 0 flag, right? Yeah. And it won't set carry. That's so annoying. So what I want to do is I want to set one. I totally know what you mean. That happens to me all the time whenever I speak another language or try to. Like, um, especially German. When I was studying German, I would I feel like my pronunciation of German is really good. And even when I'm like practicing it out loud to myself, I think I sound pretty German, you know, German-ish. Uh, and then when I go to speak it to people, I sound as like I sound like a Canadian speaking German, like it's terrible and it sounds ridiculous. Um, uh, yeah, exactly. I am. Yeah, I'm from Toronto, although I live out on the west coast now, in BC. But I don't think I have a really strong Canadian accent. I don't. I don't talk like I'm going to go hunt moose, eh? Like I don't think that's how a real Canadian speaks. But when you're from the cities, sort of sound kind of. Americans can still tell that I'm not American, but it takes a little while. I'll be like talking to them, and then eventually, in the middle, after like 30 minutes, they'll say, "Wait, are you Canadian?" Uh, no, that's probably the easiest thing to do. Absolutely. Let me get. Yes. I would love to see that. I always think it's so funny. Uh, the way other nationalities think about Canada is always like the most interesting thing to me. Um, because okay, oh okay. I mean, the way Canadians think about Canada is also interesting to me. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I lived for a long time in the U.S., and so I spent a lot of time really reflecting on Canada, and also when I was in Germany as well. I guess a lot of time reflecting on the nature of my country in a way that I hadn't really before. Um, I should. God, this is taking me forever. Um, 'Cause it's like I don't know. All countries are sort of course, have their own sort of like identities and think about their own identities a lot. But Canadians are like really weird about it because we're such a small country and we're right next to the U.S. and everyone thinks we're basically American. Even Americans think we're basically American, you know. And so we're very defensive about no, we're our own country. Well, I mean, we are obviously we're a very large country geographically, but I think what's the population of the Netherlands? I think you guys are probably not a whole lot smaller than we are, even though we're like 100 times the size. Population of the Netherlands. 18 million. Yeah. Okay. We're like 36 million. So we are twice the number of people, but spread out over way more space and right next to the US, which is 10 times bigger than us. So I don't know. uh, check left right collision, right? Let's do that. So we get paddle X. We want to compare that to B. If we are greater than B, so if no carry, we want to return. Um, oh man, finding clips on Twitch is impossible. Oh no, I hate this. Let's see. Paddle with pixels, C, compare B. if there's a carry, then the B is to the right of us. Okay, so there we go. Call do extend power up. Oh my gosh. I think that should help clear power up state. So go down into power up state A, load A1 and put that into auto width tiles. Let's clear power up state, and that's what I should call just gonna move power up state into here. Why not? God, just because it's syntax error. Syntax error? What do you mean? Oh, let me check this out. Update power up timer and save. Whoops. Is this gonna work? Let me see how much this is gonna work. I feel like this is gonna. I don't think I reloaded. Right. That kind of worked. It didn't quite work, but it kind of worked. Rip. I'm just going to set a where is HL pointing to? Okay, yeah, okay. Okay. So why is my power up state getting completely messed up? As soon as the I don't fully understand. Let me set a breakpoint. Oh, let me do that other thing. Actually, one other thing, which is that if there is this collision, okay, so I'm going to rec C instead. Clear that out. Okay. Run. So that way I won't hit this like a bunch of times. Run. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is broken. That's not good. Wait, no, it's not. It's not broken. What am I doing? God, I've been doing this for too long. I just really want to get this one power up working, and then I can stop streaming. Yeah, okay, and then it's... And then it clears it out. I don't understand. So the first time I do it, I get it. I set it to F. Oh, I never write it back. That's the problem. Derp. Yeah, that's fair. That's late. I think this is going to fix it, which will be great, because then I can relax and do other things. Oops. Yeah, there we go. That is exactly what I was going for. It's hard to tell because I died immediately after, but yeah, I've got this invincibility, or this extend power up. Still seems to be some bugs, but it eventually wears off. Cool. Yeah, 8 hours of sleep, really important. There we go. I got working what I wanted to get working. It's definitely imperfect, but yeah, me too. All the time, every day. My sleep schedule is without flaw. All right, but that is what I was going for. So, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out. And I do this every day at 2 p.m. Pacific. You've never gone over 48 hours without sleep. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've ever gone more than 48 hours without sleep. That's a lot of hours. I think I've gone over 24 once and I was like hallucinating by the end of it. 48 hours. Oh my god. Um, yeah, I definitely I couldn't do that if I wanted to, probably. At least not without like taking a bunch of stimulants of various sorts. Uh, Geez, especially now that I'm old. Like when I was younger, I used to do all-nighters and stuff. I was in university, but not anymore. um, all right. Yeah. Yeah, just wait. Just wait. Even if I get 8 hours of sleep, I still feel miserable. Uh, honestly, I'm still pretty young, kind of, in the grand scheme of things. I'm like 30, in my 30s, early 30s. So it's just gonna get worse. I'm really not looking forward to it. um, but yeah, go get some sleep. I'm gonna go. I don't know. Probably drink some coffee. Honestly. um, Take it easy. I will be back tomorrow. Bye.